No, I'm just kind of doing freelance and networking stuff.
As much as I love hanging out with
I'm of the opinion that they give me so many time. You know, I don't pay for the parking, I'd rather pay for the tickets. Tickets are
that was today? Oh wow.
Like they said, even if you turn on, I'm like,
The more development there is, I mean, friends that have less development.
That's the only time that I've seen this happen.
Oh, Sarah?
Yeah.
And you said, well, now you said it's going okay, so. Okay, so we're going to start in like, give it 2 minutes.
It's a self-test. It's like in the US when they try to
What is your name?
the US grew up the lifeline for them to buy their gas.
So what's your last name? All right, I'm going to start. How does it look? I am so glad that you're all here. Thank you, thank you. I know you're going to have a good time. I'm going to read this because I'm not good with off the cuff. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Marketing, Automation, and AI Meetup. Thanks for coming. Before we start, quick question. How many of you have LinkedIn? Raise your hand. Okay. And how many of you post every day? One couple. All right. Why aren't you posting? Like, if you have your own business or you're a solopreneur, you need to post on LinkedIn. Okay. So what I'm doing with I'm Sharon DeCaro. I'm an AI consultant, branding strategist, and founder of I'm having a brain fade. AI Brand Boost. I've been doing this for a couple years, so I really know a lot about AI. And I'm offering a special promo for the launch of my new website, AI Brand Boost. I do AI branding and marketing. I use AI solutions to scale your business. And I'm offering this a month's worth of LinkedIn posts with one blog and that's a promo for this month and next month. So if you're interested in that, I'm giving a good price. We'll talk about it afterwards, or you can DM me. Does that sound like something you might be interested in?
Where to DM you?
You can on LinkedIn. Yeah, I mean, you Sharon DeCaro, DeCaro. There's another one, but you'll see my photo, okay? And I'm really grateful you're here. So, is that my phone? Oh. All right, so if you're interested, now I talked about a quick rundown of the meetup. From 6:30 to 7, we have networking. 7 to 7:45, we have the presentation. We have 15 minutes for Q&A, or in between, you can do it. Then we got to get out of here. Hard stop. By 8:30, we can talk out in the hallway. We'll all communicate and laugh, and if there's questions, and you can talk to me or Chris. If you parked in the building, hit me up for $8 parking vouchers. I have them. Do not leave without getting one if you're in the building. So I want to give a huge shout out to the Capital Factory. They're our premium sponsor. They give us this room, and they give us live stream, YouTube, and that lives on their channel, Austin Tech Live. Also, if you want to know anything more, go to their website. Now, let's talk about the biggest Austin event and our speaker. South by Southwest is coming up quickly, and if you want to win at South by Southwest, you need to know tonight's speaker because he knows a lot. So Chris Lopez is an AI expert and AI consultant. He's the guy you need to know. In tonight's presentation, he'll demonstrate and share his expertise on how to leverage AI to grow your business at South by Southwest. Chris's expertise in AI tools and software isn't just deep, it's game-changing. He doesn't just understand AI, he lives it, breathes it, and knows exactly how to make it work for you. And his knowledge of AI tools and software is extensive. He also has 2 Capital Factory meetups like this one. And what he does, he's dedicated to transforming solopreneurships, helping businesses grow, and another with a focus on the digital nomad lifestyle. He's brilliant. Trust me, he's one of the smartest people I've ever met. Let's give a warm welcome to my friend, Chris Lopez. Woo!
Hi, everyone. Good to see everyone here. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Thank you so much, Sharon. So we will go ahead and get started. So this is just an introduction. As she said, my name is Chris. I do digital nomad here, one-person business. Every 4th Monday, I help people build remote teams and find where you need to be. South by is coming up. Most important thing you need to know is what rooms you need to be in and where you actually need to spend your time. So tonight, we're going to actually be building some tools that you're going to use during South by. So if you have your laptop or you have your phone, you're going to need to pull it out so you can follow along. So how I use AI with entrepreneurs, this is just a small breakdown of a lot of the things that I go over with people. One, workflow solutions. You've heard that term, I'm sure, many times over. And then you also see people come in and they want to show you like, hey, we can build this complicated stuff. And then, of course, something breaks, right? So my answer to always that is like, well, what are the use cases? What's going on? And I show different parts of a business. Sometimes people don't realize there's other parts of your business that don't have to be technical. It can just be a simple solution, right? So then it's refining your marketing strategy, because sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know what to ask AI, you're going to miss that, right? And so that's what I show people. Crafting pricing structures. I'm sure some people here don't even have a pricing guide for your business. And yet it's so crucial to know how are you pricing yourself compared to your competitors, right? And then standard operating procedures. How many times have you brought somebody into your business and you're like, we'll just kind of figure out what you're going to do today, you know? AI can help bridge that whole problem, right? So now it's also explaining like how to design, build apps, SaaS, things like that, and data visualization, which AI is used for, right? So I had a lot of like struggle in how to structure this talk tonight, because I was like, do I make it technical? And then I was like, no, if I make it technical, then I'm going to push certain people out. I wanted to make sure that everybody here leaves with some tool in your hand tonight that you can use right away. It doesn't need to be deployed to the cloud. You don't need to go and fix it, because you only have how many days before Friday? Right. South by is already here. The EDU portion's going on. The tech portion starts Friday, and then it just runs for 5 days straight, right? So then I said, I'm going to keep it simple, because I want everybody here to be able to walk away with something. So here's a little breakdown of just the impact of what South by is to Austin, right? And it has a huge economic impact. That's what you need to be aware of. You want to go in and you want to start realizing like, this is how many people come in. For your businesses, this is who you're going to be interacting with. So the tools that I'm going to be showing you how to build tonight, this is everything going on. So how many people do they expect to show up this year? 300,000. It's going to be between 400 and 450. Okay? So that is a huge audience that is global for your business. And you getting out there every single day, even if you get 1% of that, 1%, right? That's still big, okay? So countries from all around the world come in looking for Austin talent. That means they're looking for people to go speak at their festivals. They're looking for people to come in and share ideas. Hey, I'm working on this. How do I make it better, right? So it's a launching pad for so many startups. Everybody here has an idea. Everybody here has a business, right? You're going to go to a party. You're going to meet somebody. Something's going to happen. But guess what? You have to be in that room for that to happen, okay? And once you understand that, then you realize why it's so important to be at South by. So who's in the room? I put together a little thing. If you've ever used this, I love this little thing. I want to know who's here so I can help structure this better, okay? If you just scan that with your phones. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Gosh, if somebody had just told me this whole time, I thought I was doing amazing. Oh my God. Now, can I just redo that whole talk? My God. You know what? Jeez, my Lord. Here it is. Okay, we'll just start right there. Those were the economic numbers right here. My God. This is why everybody had faces that looked like they were mad. So.
I think they show you didn't need the slides.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we covered that. Please scan this. Yes. So once you get that, you're going to scan it, you're going to enter your code, and then we're going to go through and just answer the questions. Because this will tell me how to structure things. For those that just walked in, if you want to take your phone out and just scan this, We're trying to get a little check so I know how to structure this better. Can scan the code. All right. Everybody got that? Good. So there you go. Now you have an idea like who's in the room and what industry they're in, right? Okay? So we have this part right here. Now let's go to the next one. If you're an entrepreneur, do you sell products or services? Wow, look at that. More services than products, and others are both. So if we go back, has it changed? All right, cool. We're getting more tech, entrepreneur. We have business, healthcare, other, finance, one's in finance. Very cool. All right. More services. Awesome. Let's keep going. Have you been to South by before? Yes. 12 out of 10 people here have never been to South by. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Are you a coder? So this is what I wanted to know, because this is why it was very hard for me to structure this presentation tonight. This is more non-technical people, okay? There are technical people, the coders, but more non-tech, all right? What do you hope to get out of it? There you go. There's your word cloud. If you want to take a picture of this, this gives you a sense of like what other people are looking for and what do they expect, right? So clients, networking, those are the big three right there that most people picked out, okay? Then you have leads, you have good vibes, fun, friends, connections, partnerships, AI knowledge, offer AI tech support, capital, and it's changing again. That's good. Free food and drinks. That's what I'm there for, actually. So, current state of the economy, support business. That's good. Support locals, right? Support your local business. So, and let's see. There's another one. Do you currently have a pricing guide for your business? That is super important. So tonight, I hope this gave you a good idea of like basically what people are looking for. And this tells me 48 responses right there. That's very good. Non-technical people, that is fantastic. So with that, let's dive into the fun stuff. So, all right, we did that. What tools do you need to grow your business, right? Do you need a map? Do you need an app, a pricing guide, a survey? So now, this is where we're gonna get to work. So for those with a laptop and your phone, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Perplexity, you can use Pi. It doesn't matter, whichever one you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a simple process here where surveys help you capture leads. Who here already uses a survey for your business? Okay. Do you care to share how you use it? Is it just on your website? Is it just a quiz? Is it a way to gamify how you find your leads? Go ahead. Perfect. This is what we're going to do. So we're going to start with this prompt. If you want to take it out, you can copy it, type it in as it is, and just insert your type of business here, and then type in the rest. And I want you to answer. Everybody here is going to have a different answer, by the way. Those who follow through, everything you're doing right here is going to be different for everybody, right? And you can actually take a picture of this and just upload it into, and then just tell them what your business is. And it's going to spit back some questions. You're going to answer those questions, and it's going to refine what type of survey you should have for your business. And as you're doing this, you can ask any questions, any variation. Everybody's working so diligently right now. It's so quiet. Anybody care to share what you have so far? I'm about to do a demonstration as well. I just want to make sure that we all have the prompt. Okay, cool. I'm going to put this down real quick Well, actually, let me see if I could just, yes, good. Yeah. It's right there. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna grab this now, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it over, and I will throw it into just basic ChatGPT. All right, I'm gonna insert the type of business. So let's say I run a doggy daycare. Okay. This is something you should be getting for yourself, right? So it's going to give you questions to answer. What is your primary service you offer at a doggy daycare, right? So after I answer all these questions, it's going to go back and give me my survey questions that are geared towards what I'm looking for. So then what would I do with those survey questions? Remember, the idea behind all of this is I want to make sure that you can walk out of here with something. You're going to take this and you're going to throw it into like SurveyMonkey. You're going to take it in and put it into Google Forms, right? Because when you're out in South by, guess what you don't have on you? A laptop. You don't have a charging station. You don't have a lot of those things. It's just your phone, a water bottle, and a backpack. So when you have your phone with you, you can create a survey, and who do you take that survey to? It's okay to talk.
People you want to network to and put that product out.
Okay, cool. Now let's drive that down further. Okay, it's South by. We have different categories. We have music, film, technology, interactive, right?
Sure. So my specific one is AI consulting.
Okay.
I would reach out directly to someone I would know in the tech space.
Okay.
Someone I might follow will probably be there.
Okay.
I might have the opportunity to reach out to them and be like, hey, you got 5 minutes to go through this survey.
Okay. So this part right here is what you're going to do with the results. So it's going to ask you, what did you discover about your business? What did you discover about what it's actually creating for your business, right? So now you're going to take that, and if you read very carefully, what are you going to actually be doing in South by? You're going to look for the people that are your target, and guess what they're going to be doing a lot of during the day? If you've ever been to South by, what do people do a lot of? They wait in line for their event. And you're going to go to those lines, and you're going to be like, hey, I'm a student, and I have a survey for you. And those people will probably fill out your survey, right? And it's going to be able to create a capture system to learn more, right? Because guess what? All you have is your phone. If I show you how to build an app tonight, you don't have time to refine your app by Friday to get all that going. This is a lot better. Because now if you have a list of, let's say, 50 people in that Google spreadsheet, what can you do with that? There's a lot of entrepreneurs in this room. Exactly. Where does that list go? MailChimp, thank you. He got it on the first try. Look at that. It goes right to MailChimp, and then what happens? They're on a drip campaign, and then you go. Right? So, now that you've gone through those, for those who are still working on your questions, you're starting to realize now you understand how to build these different types of surveys, right? Now you have another tool on your phone that you can deploy right away, because guess what you're going to do with it? You're going to turn that form into a QR code on your phone. Everybody's going to scan it, and there you go. Was that too easy? Yes. So a drip campaign is where when you turn it on in MailChimp, where they have a lead, right? Like, hey, I saw you filled out our form. Thank you for your interest. I just wanted to follow up with you in case you want to get on a call and let's talk, right? And let's say they say no. So the drip campaign says, okay, 2 weeks later, I'll send another follow-up email. And then it just drips, right? And then it just keeps doing that until they say, like, yes, let's have a conversation. And they'll follow up. Like, if it's 2 weeks, then it goes to like a month, and then it goes to 3 months, right? But it's constantly doing that for you. So once you set up that system, let it automate. So lead generation tools, right? So for here, let's create a follow-up based on the list of attendees at a party. I will create some fake data, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to take that fake data because you're going to have all these lists, right? And now what are you going to do with these lists? You have to do what with them now? This is the part that most people have so much trouble with after South by. The follow-up, right? You collected all these business cards, you have all these LinkedIns, and you're like, I know we talked about this for 2 hours, but I just can't remember what to do with this. And yeah, so now all of a sudden, you're going to go in and you're going to take that information and you're going to have it draft all your letters for you. So what does that tell you about the people who are going to email you? Did you, nothing? That's right. So you're probably going to get a lot of emails from AI too. So if they're doing it right, AI will be talking to AI for the follow-ups, okay? So if you've ever used, I believe it's this guy right here, where you go in right here and then you just have it create fake data, right? So it can populate all this data. So then you can go in, and I already did that before, and what you can do now is attach the file, go in, and, oh, that's right. And then I'll do new thread, yes. So I'm going to attach a file. And I already did one for mock data. I think it was like, yes, here it is. And then I have a list of people I met at South by Southwest. Please draft a follow-up template for each person. Yes. So it looks at the data, which is the list that you generated from all the people you went through, and it took all that information, right? And it gives you a template, and then it goes through the person, and then as you see, it automatically generates every follow-up letter for you. So you can copy, paste, put that into your email, and then you can edit it and then send it off. Who here does that already? One almost raised their hand. Yes.
For lead generation?
Yeah.
I haven't used Perplexity for it.
Yeah. So. And then after that, what you can also do is, yes, is now you're going to do your market research for events and panels. So everybody here has the schedule. Everybody here has all that stuff. Who here has actually taken a lot of those events and throw them into AI and said, hey, find me the events that I need to be at? And then organize, oh, man, this guy is on it. So you're going to take advantage of this thing, aren't you? And so, oh yeah, me too. I've already planned out all my events of where I'm going to be for like the next, like after Friday, I already know where I'm going to be. So once you take that right there, I gave you a simple prompt that you can follow. Please take a look at this event. Tell me how best to prepare for this event and include topics to talk about, icebreakers for talking to new people. And this is really important if you're shy, right? Like if you're a shy person and you have trouble going to networking events in general, this helps you understand like, hey, this is what the event is about. This is what's going on. Please do research and tell me the best way I can capture leads in this room, right? So then if you take that prompt right now for those who have a laptop, plug it in, share what AI gave you back, right? Because this is how we all kind of share what's going on. Because for many people, icebreakers is the hardest thing. How many times you have trouble walking up to somebody and you're like, what do I say? How do I start this conversation, right? And other times it's like, okay, I don't know anybody in this room. What do I do, right? And for some people who are really smart, they'll take AI, they'll have the pro version, right? And they'll just say, hey, listen to the room, tell me what I should talk about. And it can do that. And it's like, these people are really smart. What are you doing here, you know? So, yes. And so with tools like this, now you figure out like, okay, where should you be? So the expo, who here has been to the expo? Nobody at South by? So the expo is going to be at the convention center. When is it free? Because remember, you have to have the badge for like the first 4 days or so. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to be free, open to the public, right? So if you look at the calendar for that, then you can also go in and figure out like, hey, there's a list of companies that are going to be there. Now you can have AI go through all those companies and figure out like, what booth should I be at for all of that stuff? So have you done that already? No? Okay. So who here has actually seen the map for that? Yes, I'm going to show you real quick. Really? Oh, wow. Okay. All right, yeah. Yeah. So then you can go into each one right here, Expo Sunday, yeah. So then you can go right here, plug this in, and you can start to find out like, hey, what really should I be at? What should I be doing? So once you understand that, then all of a sudden you start to realize, okay, now you can start planning out each and every one of those, because if you take this, now you're gonna be able to have an easier time in those rooms. So let's move on to pricing guide. And this one actually is a little harder, okay? So for people who don't have a pricing guide, you're gonna take this one right here, this prompt that I wrote out. I'm looking to create a pricing guide for my business. My business does such and such. I wanna provide my customers with a guide that explains what the cost of my products and services are. I don't know where to start, so I would like you to ask me some questions to narrow down what I offer to customers before we settle on a final pricing guide. And what's gonna happen is, it's gonna ask you a bunch of questions, and when it spits back those questions, you're gonna answer every single one of those, right? It's gonna take some time, so we have a little bit of time right now, and what's gonna happen is, it's gonna start breaking everything down that you do. It's gonna ask you, what services do you offer? What products do you offer? How do you offer it? Do you offer tiers? Do you offer subscriptions? Do you offer different services? And then how do you do it? Is it a subscription base? Is it like in-person? Things like that. If it's a consulting service, or if it's just products, right? So once you break all those questions down, it's gonna ask you another set of questions after that, and then it's gonna refine everything at the very end, and you'll finally have a pricing guide that you can use. So why is that important now? What do you do with that? Because it's part of your drip campaign. So now, yes, go ahead.
So it's like I would use it like as an intro or like as a promo to be like, okay, well, hey, this is like what it normally is, but if you sign up, like how she introduced it early on is March and April. I'm running a promo. Here's like a bonus offer, like an introductory offer for you to get into before you get my full-time person.
That's right, yeah. So once you do that, then now you can figure out like, okay, if the lead is like not interested right now, then you send them to something else. Like, hey, just to let you know, we're gonna have a promo this week, we're gonna be at this festival, right? So now you just give them some information. And then later on, if they follow up and say, hey, I like this, can we talk more? And then you send them a pricing guide. So then it all follows like a workflow type deal. And MailChimp has that set up. But again, this is really helpful because now you can send them a PDF or you can send them straight to your website, either one, right? So who here has done anything like that with AI before or tried doing something like that? Yes, you have. Was it successful or was it hard? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Exactly, right. Yeah, exactly. And since we have so many tools now for that, it's really changed how business is done, especially with marketing, especially with like newsletters. Because again, you can take all these survey answers, right, and plug that into your newsletter subscriber base, right? And then just see like, hey, I'm gonna send them the free version of my newsletter and see if they're interested. If they like it and they click on things, then I will push the paid version of the newsletter. And then I will see where that goes from there, right? Because this whole time, remember, when you go to South by, it's gonna be a lot of rooms that you're gonna be going in, and sometimes these conversations move really quick, right? It's either 5-minute conversations, 10-minute conversations, the music might be loud, so you're in and out of rooms constantly. So the only tool you have is your phone, and you don't really have time right now to build an app. So this is why I've kept it simple, because everyone here can now take something like this, you go home, sit down, I will tell you this pricing guide will take you, if you follow this, at least an hour to do the entire process, right? Once you are done, you can also go back and say, take my pricing guide and compare it to my competitors on the market and make sure that it is correct, right? Because Perplexity can do online research. It can check all those things. So now you can check to make sure, like, hey, am I priced correctly? So, and if you've never done that before, it is an amazing experience because now you have something valid to offer somebody. You've already done your research. You know what your competitors are. And if you don't, you can even go in and be like, hey, who are my competitors in Austin? Who are my competitors for Texas? And who are my competitors nationwide, right? And then it will do all those things for you, break it down, and then it will give you into a table format the pricing guides for all of those things. So that's how you can start to show for your competitors. For some, this is probably going to be something that you might do later on, but if you're trying to use South by to grow your business, this is what you want. You want that lead gen tool, you want that survey, you want to connect it to either your MailChimp or your Constant Contact, and then if you're really good, you'll automate the process, and then after that, you'll send them a pricing guide if they're interested. So, any questions from there? Yes?
What automation tool do you recommend?
I mean, I'm kind of privy to like make.com. Who here knows make.com? Good. Who here has built stuff in make.com? Okay. Did it work? Okay. So for some people, they try it and it's kind of like, this is a lot of work. And for those who really get into it, it is amazing. Like it will change your life. And what's amazing is if you go into the template gallery, you can look at all these different templates that they give you, right? So if you go into business intelligence, hey, what do we have right here? Watch events instantly and create records in Airtable for Google Sheets. What does that mean? I know we were awake. So you can take that, turn it on, and plug it into Twitter. You can plug it into Facebook, watch events for you, right? And then it can start tracking all those things. And it can either send you notifications, or you can have it do a whole system for social media, right? That would be an automation. So, yep. There is a free version. It goes up to about 10,000 operations per month for the free version. And then if you want to do more, because of how Make is structured, it charges you per operation. So if, like, let's say you have a workflow that goes from like, hey, every time I get an email that has an attachment, send me a text message. That's 2 operations, right? So if every time I get an email, send me a text message and then record that in Google Sheets, that's 3 operations, right? So that's what you have to be careful with. Other than that, you can go in here and start building out some really cool stuff. If you want to see the AI components, hey, use a web scraper with Google Sheets. So it can go in, scrape a whole bunch of data, throw it into a Google Sheet for you, and then it's up to you to figure out what are you going to do with it, right?
What would you say is the main difference with Zapier?
This one just has way more applications. Zapier has less, but it's easier to use, right? So this one right here has an entire like academy that you have to go through before you can get really good at it. But Zapier, a lot of people can go in and just start using it right away, and then they connect their most popular tools. Whereas Make, they're constantly adding in new applications to their library.
Did I hear you say it has social listening? Like it can listen to posts on certain topics and notify you?
Mm-hmm. So I think it's, yeah, where was the other one? Yeah, web scraping, and then was it the business intelligence? Yeah, watch events instantly. So you can go in there and just connect it to whatever it is you want to watch. So if you use like Browse AI, and let's say you want to find all your competitors, right? And every time their competitor makes a change on their website, Browse AI, let me show you real quick what it looks like. There we go. So right here, it'll monitor all your competitor websites, right? So now it can give you notifications to say, hey, your competitors changed their pricing. This is what they did. Okay, and then you can go in and adjust. So that's useful right there. So there was another tool that I also saw that is pretty big right now. And in fact, I told somebody about this a long time ago. This is Placer AI. All it's doing is scraping all your phone's data right now, because your phone is giving off a ton of data right now. And what this does is it basically just shows you like foot traffic based off of phones. And what they've shown right now is that foot traffic for like grocery stores and retail stores has dropped tremendously. So you can use this right here to go in and be like, hey, I'm gonna monitor this part of the city, and I can do what with that data? I can either say like, hey, this is the trend, this is what's going on, or I can sell this to a marketing firm, right? Because I can guarantee you somebody has a Placer account right now, and they're gonna be watching all the data for South by, and they're gonna do something with it, right? So that if they know that, hey, there's gonna be a ton of people in this one area, what could you do with that data if you're an entrepreneur? It's okay to speak up, because this is where you make the money. If you're gonna geotag, did it cut out again? Oh, okay. Did it pop up? It broke. Oh, geez. So sensitive. I can still tell you. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I tried it. It's not returning. Anyways, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to take that data of foot traffic, right? And you're going to run your Google ads in that location. You're going to geofence your Google ads to that part, and you're going to know that there's going to be that much traffic to where you're going to get a ton of impressions, right? So that's how you're going to use Placer AI to help you run your SEO. Because then whoever runs your SEO, say, hey, look, this is what's going on. I can guarantee you right now, there's a ton of people who are literally waiting for Friday to come around, and they're geofencing that entire convention center area. And they are targeting very specific industries. And I don't have a thing anymore. Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I plugged it in. Do I need to move it again? Don't know. All right. Well, I think we're just at the question portion then. Yeah, I know. It flickered and then it went away. Yeah. Okay. It's just yeah.
I look like the kind of guy that knows what he's doing.
There it goes, yeah. Okay, all right. So we are at question time. So, yeah. So other than that, these are ways that a lot of people right now are using AI, and they're using it to automate South by, right? They're gonna run those ads, and they're gonna keep changing them based off of that foot traffic. They're gonna change it based off of like the interest that people are searching for. So when you go into Google Ads systems, they're looking at trending searches, right? And they're monitoring like, hey, what is the most popular one popping up? And they're gonna pivot, right? So they're gonna pivot whatever it is they're selling. And if you go to South by and you look at all the pillars, I guarantee you, just like last year, you're gonna see a ton of e-commerce stores with ridiculous like domains, and they're selling like 1 or 2 items, and people are scanning these QR codes, and they're going in and purchasing them. Even if they make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, it's still successful, because guess what's gonna happen when South by is over? Those stores disappear, and that's it, right? So they're just literally watching traffic. They're placing their Google ads there, and once South by is over, they all disappear. So for your businesses, this is how you have to think about every person coming in, and what are they doing, right? If you get an account with this, let's say somebody here does get an account, what are you gonna do with it, right? Now you have to have a game plan. You can't just get the data, you need to figure out what you're gonna do with it. Either automate it and say like, hey, this is what's going on, I can sell you it, or I can use it to improve my SEO, or make a better e-commerce site. Yeah, this was questions, yeah. That's right. Yeah, and for those who use Snapchat in here, Snapchat is amazing at geofencing with ads. Like they can literally do it like down to the foot, you know? So they will literally, you can like with your finger just circle all of like the convention center and target your ads to that. And then if you want to get really in depth, you can target like certain booths around the convention center, certain areas, certain restaurants, all that stuff. Yes.
Snapchat has the geofence capability for face filters.
Mm-hmm.
Those world-facing lenses, so little 3D objects in the filter, and people can record a video and share it.
Yeah.
If you're curious about that or how to like hide a virtual object in a specific corner of a building, I'm happy to chat about that as well. I've got a ton of ideas from Chris, from
Absolutely. Sure, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And again, filters are amazing, right? Like you can go in there and set up all kinds of filters. How many times have you played with Snapchat and you see a filter for a company, right? Coca-Cola, NFL, things like that. Again, you can put in your business. You just have to figure out how to place that ad as a filter for people to use it. And once they interact with it, then that's the point, right? So the whole reason why, I remember somebody saying like, why does Coca-Cola still have ads when we know Coca-Cola is there? It's been around forever. Well, the same reason why you remind people that you exist. You're gonna walk into a room, you make face, they're like, hey, this is what I do, this is what's going on, and you have a connection, right? Because we don't always remember everything, but the reason why Coke is everywhere is because they have a budget for it. So if you go into a room and you remind people that you're there, it's the same thing as marketing, you know? So if you create filters, now all of a sudden you can promote yourself in different ways, right? So if you wanna hear, wait, do I still have time or? I think so. Yeah, there was one story where somebody had a filter where they're trying to get a job in a building and they didn't know anybody in that building, so they geofenced that building. They knew everybody went to lunch at 11:30 and they ran a filter that had their resume on it. And what do you think happened? They got a phone call from the CEO because nobody had done that before, right? And that's how creative Snapchat is, right? That's how creative you have to get. So if you run your ads like that, then it's gonna work, you know, so. So yeah, if you wanna, this is my calendar link. If you want to connect further, right here. Oh yeah, yeah, there you go. Yeah, this calendar link. And then for those, okay, yeah. And then also, LinkedIn, so, yep, if you want to connect further. I'm glad y'all came out. Hopefully you learned something. These are very simple, no-code tools that you can use right away. And if there's nothing else, then I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. I know it's not flashy like some of the other ones, like, hey, I'm gonna build something cool. But again, as you saw in the survey, most people here are not coders. So this allows you to be able to walk away with something that you can build, put on your phone, have a QR code, and go out there, find the people waiting in line, go talk to them. So with that, I will turn it over to Sharon. And yep, I'm finished. So now you can take over, and I appreciate the time.
He's got like at least 20 minutes worth. Ask him a zillion questions.
You can throw anything at me.
Okay, tell us about your AI research. How do you find new stuff? Let's say you're looking for new tools. Where do you kind of keep track?
Where do I go? Okay, I will show you that real quick.
And show them the book you're reading.
Oh yeah, so this book right here, who knows Ethan Mullick? He is a business professor at Wharton School, and he wrote this book when ChatGPT 3.5 came out. If most people don't use 3.5 anymore, but there was a student of his that he showed ChatGPT 3.5 to, and do you remember the scene in Harry Potter where they're walking up the stairs for the first time, and they see all the like portraits and they're all moving, right? So some student in this class used 3.5 version to create a picture frame of moving images using that model. And within 2 days, they got a VC's attention and funding. That's ridiculous, right? Now nobody uses 3.5 anymore, right? But this guy shows you basically like what our lives are gonna be like with work, our everyday lives with AI. And for those who use it every day, it has changed quite a bit. Many of you probably use it for meal planning. Others probably use it for trip planning. Others use it for like workflow automation, building apps, things like that. But for here, this is where I go. I do go to the library a lot. So this guy right here, AI Advantage, I watch his stuff religiously, right, all the time, because every Friday he puts out a new video where it's AI news you can use, right? And he keeps you up to date on all the latest models, all the tools that are going on, things like, but he also shows you like how to use some of this stuff. If you've ever done the research feature, who's done the research feature yet on DeepSeek or like Perplexity? Okay, cool. What did you think of it? All right? So when you do a deep, like of the research portion, what do you actually do with that piece of research paper? Do you read it?
Yes.
Okay.
And it takes a while to go through everything. To me, the biggest thing, and this is the thing that everyone struggles with, is like getting really clear on who they're serving and their avatar down to like what they need to know from you and the keywords that they need to know from you in
Right.
order to build trust and buy.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that that's really what it is. So deep research for me is helping me cut through all this data that you would need to go through on the field.
That's right. Yeah.
And say, hey, that's why I love your survey idea, because I want to get to know what are the, like, you want to hear founder, you want to hear entrepreneur.
Yes.
And it's the same
That's right.
thing,
Yeah.
but to the customer is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is the biggest power of it.
So one of the things he also talked about, and that goes back to what you were saying, is he took a lot of these papers that came out, and one of them was like, how do I improve my business that's in this industry, right? So I did a paper on all that stuff. He didn't read the paper, he just gave it back to AI and said, okay, now build my company that way. Right? Because it did it. Now it has the instruction guide, build my business, get everything set up, structure my website, tell me how to build the app, do all those things, and it built it all for it, right? So that's how people are using that portion of research. Because now it's doing it for you. Do you need to sit there and read a 100-page research paper? You can, but you can give it back to the AI. Okay, now build it. See? So I love watching his stuff because he just breaks everything down. And sometimes like he'll just show you weird tools that are out there that are just a lot of fun. And then the other one right here is Liam. And so Liam right here is what you
You're looking to use the
focus of AI automation agency models, right? He is going to show you how to basically break down how do you run an AI agency workflow automation system. And one of his amazing videos he posted was how his team works. And he shows that entire process of how do they get leads? How do they find customers? How do they close deals? What are they doing to get their name out there? How are they marketing themselves? Are they doing it correctly? Is it working? Is it not working? And you see every process of their business right there in the video. And it gives you a full sense of like, okay, am I doing that for my business? Am I not doing it? And he throws out little videos that say like, hey, where was it? He actually went in, yes, these right here. There was one where he said, are you too old to succeed in AI? No, you're not. Like, this is for everybody. You just have to be willing to jump in and use it, right? There are people I meet who are just afraid to touch it because, like, I don't know, I don't want to break it, you know? And then, of course, there's others who are using it every day, right? And they're building all kinds of cool stuff with it. So these are the tool right here that I go to first before anything else. And then, of course, there's the other one, feature. Yeah.
I want to add some comment. For Liam, you have to go and subscribe to his school on school.com, like on his profile, because that is where the community, they share a lot of tools and they comment and ask questions what tool is the best. And Liam has the best community on
the school.com
Yeah, Liam,
Yeah.
the guy,
No,
he
I'm
has
on
a
it.
school
Yeah.
on
Yeah, that's right,
school.com
yeah.
or something. You have to show people the link to
Right.
his school.
Yeah, that's one of the things about a lot of these YouTubers now are creating school communities, right? And they're some of them are free, some of them are paid. Which one? Yeah.
I got to tell you about this other one.
Uh-huh.
He's got a school community too. It's I just found him, and he's making I want to join his school community. Man, I can't think of the name right now.
Yeah. So again, those are the few that I keep up with right away. There's more obscure ones that I follow, but I will actually go in sometimes. This is actually another one that I watch. She is very interesting use case because if you look at her numbers, to most people here, her numbers would classify her as not a big YouTuber, right? Like she's not famous. But the thing is, her videos make her a lot of money. Okay? Her videos make her an amazing amount of money. In fact, her popular one right there, copy this YouTube automation system, and it shows you how to repurpose YouTube videos, and she automates that entire process, right? So then, what does she do with that? She only got 26,000 views, right? To most people here, like, oh, that's not good. If she got a 10% return on that, is that good, right? Literally, you're looking for a 10% return on video views. So even if you get 1,000 views and you get 10% return on that, and you're all paying customers, that's still great. So she did another one where she said, like, I'll generate 1,000 leads, and I will show you step by step how to build that entire workflow, right? So her numbers, again, are not huge in terms of what we're used to seeing, but because of what she does, she makes a lot of money. She did one for social media right here, and it finally hit 1 million views. The video before that got 4,000 views, and the video after that got 4,000 views. So she knows what she's doing, right? She has another one, how to create 1,000 YouTube shorts, automate that, right? And you can create those. I think she did in like, what, 20 minutes, you know? So if you're doing that, you understand why so many YouTubers put out content all the time. For many people here, they're like, I don't have time to watch all those videos. But the algorithm expects you to produce content, you know? So that's why I watch her stuff, because she will come up with some really cool use cases, and then she just makes a lot of money on that. So she's averaging, you know, high six figures with her stuff. Yes?
Chris, one question. I heard people say it's common to be able to sell a YouTube channel for 3x revenue. Probably less so the case if it's your face, but how legitimate is that? And then second part of follow-up question is totally different.
Okay, I'm going to answer the first one with something I taught a long time ago. Yeah. So this was a long time ago, and so Disney buys Maker Studio, a video supplier for YouTube, and they completed the deal. And I know at the end it was over $1 billion they paid for a YouTube channel, but many people ask, like, why would you do that? Again, why would you buy any business for something like that? What are you really buying? You're buying the emails, you're buying the content, right? It's already there. Remember, Mr. Beast has made videos that are really old, right? But those videos still make him money. Even if it's 5 years ago, 7 years ago, those videos are still producing a paycheck for him. And that's why the YouTubers do it. And just like an actor, when they made a TV show, let's say back in the 90s, and it goes into reruns, they still get a paycheck, right? That's why YouTube is so huge, because people put content out there. It may not take off today, but 5 years later, there might be something that hits, and your video ends up in the search results, and it shoots, right? And now all of a sudden, something you made 5 years ago is now paying all your bills. Yes?
Second question in terms of like more media concerns for tonight and next week. What is legal? Like, lawyers are very expensive. So when you look at the realm of they have a projector across the street, you know this is on camera, or if we are washing our city and just happen to be washing on top of stencils, and we do a good job of cleaning like a square sidewalk, but maybe forget the logo
Right.
part, or like posting up. I know we can post up in certain places on 6 as a local or somebody who's getting it. What are the cans and can't do's and the maybes that we should have along the way?
So as long as it doesn't destroy property, and as long as it's not defacing anything, right? Like if it's a logo over a company, right, and you're going and putting your stuff, you can't do that, right? That's not okay. But if you go in and you use a portion of a building that's empty and you project a light on it, like a projector. In fact, now that you remind me, there's a guy across the street who does this every night, and he sits down. You know who he is? Yeah. He will sit down with a projector, and he will post an ad on this wall. And he just sits there with his little chair and he watches YouTube videos and people pay him for that. And he found a business, right? Because you're not hurting the wall, you're not damaging anything, it's just light projecting from projector, right? And he does that. So again, he found a simple thing and it works. So for South by, guess what you're gonna see all around town? You're gonna see a lot of indie filmmakers come in, they're gonna find a blank wall, they're gonna put their movie up there, you're probably not gonna be able to hear it, but you're gonna see it, you're gonna think, man, that's really cool, where is this? And he's gonna show you a QR code, hey, go to my YouTube channel, watch the full video, right? And he's gonna do that at either Stubbs or he's gonna go find a music venue and people are gonna be out drinking and he's gonna put his movie up because why? He's an indie filmmaker, he has no marketing budget, and he's just trying to get people to watch the movie. Why? Because what's that South by? Right, but who else? You have buyers from distribution centers, right? Netflix buyers are gonna be here, Paramount buyers are gonna be here, Universal buyers are gonna be here, and they're looking for the next talent, right? So when they go to these movie screenings, hey, your movie just showed, I can get you in 2,000 theaters right now. That's what they're looking for. So, do you have another question? No? Yeah. So again, as long as you're not damaging property, yeah, if you do like a stencil and spray chalk, you can put that around town. Yep. Yeah.
Do you have a tool you recommend for, say, using, and I know you talked about it earlier, but using client insights and basically any client behaviors, because some AI is smart enough to track that kind of stuff if you plug it into it, but not every LLM can do it. Like basic ChatGPT 4 can't do that stuff beyond whatever memory you put into it. So how would you leverage that for, say, someone that will pay for the higher ChatGPT or some other AI or just the basics? How would you leverage the LLM to better influence client behavior?
So for me, I would probably take like a basic llama model and just train it on a very specific data set, right? So if you're looking for like user behavior in Facebook, let's say, right? Like Facebook pages. You could take that data and then just train it on just that. If you don't want to go that route and deal with all that headache, then you can just go into like the back end and build your own custom GPT and just train that data there and play with it, right? Because guess what? You can do that within 5 minutes and give it a data set that's really small and ask it questions. Once you start getting the response you're looking for, then all of a sudden you're gonna start to see like, oh, this actually works, right? So for example, like let's say I want to design planes, right? I don't know how planes work. I'm not an aerospace engineer. So what would I do? I could just go take all the aerospace books that a aerospace engineer would learn, upload it into a GPT, train it, and say, cool, build me an airplane that does this, right? And I'm gonna keep asking it questions until it actually produces what I'm looking for. Why? It's not public, it's a private system, and I can keep training it over and over and over until it actually produces what I'm looking for. And you can do that with any type of like data sets. And so again, this is why data, let me see if I can find it. So synthetic data companies are popping up like crazy right now because we're running out of data for AI to train on. So now you can go in, create some synthetic data, train it on it, and then see what it does. You know, and because again, it's synthetic data, you know it's not completely accurate, but you can just see what it's going to do. And if it works, right? Because you're not making it public yet. And once it becomes public, then somebody else is probably going to find it, right? So if I go over to, there's an AI tool for that, right? This is the database of AI programs out there. I can just do music, and I can do like music recommendations, right? So if I go into music recommendation, come on, click it. Music creation. All right, so there's 133 AI models for that out there, and it just shows you every single one that's available, right? And if they're free or they're not free. So you can go in here, play with it, and then find the one that you're already looking for, because some chances are now probably somebody's already built it, right? And if they've already built it, just go play with that one, and then if it works, guess what you can do? Now you can copy it, other questions, now's your chance to see what else is out there. Did y'all see the one of Cody Sanchez asking AI?
Oh yeah, I saw that today.
Yeah.
She trained it on Facebook, but she's using the operator, the $200 one.
So she asked AI, make me as much money as possible, right? And figure out like the business models, all those different things. And she went in and she started to just refine until it finally spit out a business model that's like makes her a lot of money, right? And Cody Sanchez, she's already making a lot of money, right? Like the point of these videos is to show you like, hey, these are different use cases of how people are using this to make money, you know? But I love watching her videos because she's very, very, what you would call woman-focused entrepreneur. And she gets out there, she does a lot of talks. I believe she's speaking at Southside too. And yeah, her content is amazing. So her pushing this out there. But again, a lot of people have made this like thing, like asking AI how to make money, right? Right, exactly. And so there's so many people right here, like him, he asked that, asking how much money right here. And again, sometimes it's so ridiculous, and other times you're just like, yeah, I could probably do that, but I don't have that much money to put into a business, you know, so. But it just goes on and on and on, and there's so many people who've already done that. How to get rich in the new era of AI. And this one right here, he just talks about the industries of what AI is doing right now that people make the most money, right? And one of those industries is data visualization. You're just taking the data that's raw, and you're just making it look pretty, you know? So, and then they're selling that information. Because when you're 18 years old, you're just like, man, I could go sell houses and I can go do this because AI says I can do it. So yeah. So hopefully that answered those questions. Does anybody have anything else? And you can ask anything that's on the tip of your tongue. We have a couple more minutes or so. Or is everybody just ready for Friday? Yes.
I'm in a technical background. I'm just wondering, like, is there a specific industry or vertical as a developer should focus on just to create something?
So for stuff like that, I would probably say programs like Lovable. Lovable was designed as a way to replace engineers. And so this one right here is what you're probably looking for, because you can go in and have your app built in like seconds, and then you can just go in, look at the code. It actually gives you access to the code. And then you can actually either connect that code to your developers and say, hey, I have everything I want to do now. I don't need to show you. Make it better, right? And now you can just build app after app after app. And a lot of teenagers are now taking this and they're running app agencies, right? So you're 15 years old, I can build your app for this. And they're going to car mechanic shops, they're going to people who cut grass. Hey, I can build your app now, right? So what normally took a lot of time and a lot of manpower to build apps, teams are doing this, right? So for you, this would be a great tool to play with. And you can do websites, you can do all kinds of stuff, right?
What's that tool? Which one is
Lovable.
What?
Lovable.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that one too.
So it's a great tool. Just be aware, like, you know, when you build the app, you know, if you're not technical, you don't know what you don't know, so you're not sure what questions to ask, right? Because it can actually change your app and build your app as you're talking to it. Like, hey, change the color scheme, you know, change the font, family size, do this, do that, move this here, put that there, and it can do it all in real time, right? What used to only be accessible to developers is now open to anybody else who knows about this stuff. Other than that, yeah, it's changing now. So imagine what's going to be around in 6 months and how easy things are going to be. You can build full SaaS products in here. So I don't know what's going to happen to jobs. You know, we're going to still need developers, just not as many. So yeah. So hopefully that helps you. And again, for those who are technical, if you want to go home and build something for South by, you can totally do that because you're technical. For those who are not, you know, you can play with this, see what happens. Because what's the worst that's going to happen, right? Oh, it didn't work. Well, delete, you know? Which one? Oh, Marvelism? Yeah, Marvelism is the one that I showed a long time ago. This one right here, basically, it builds SaaS for you. And, oh, yeah. And And so, I think they changed it. It looks different now. I believe they updated it. Yeah. So I think they're trying to compete with Crew AI, which is building their AI agents and then having an entire team for you. But again, we have Bolt, we have NAM, we have Cursor now. There's all kinds of tools that are coming out. So who knows who's going to be the leader in this stuff in 6 months because it's changing so fast. But just keeping up with it is hard. But I enjoy playing with it, right? Like I enjoy like testing the limits and stuff like that. Like if you look at DeepSeek, DeepSeek came in and now you can do research on DeepSeek for free, right? It's free on there. But if you go to Perplexity, you only get 5 research papers per month. And if you want to do that on ChatGPT, you got to pay $200 a month to do that. Yeah. But other than that, like have fun, go out there if you've never done South by, and just take water, sunscreen, a bag, your phone, your QR codes, and talk to people, because they're out there, and it's a lot of fun. So, and I believe that's 8:15, so if nobody other questions, or, yeah, I think she's kind of, are you good, or do you want to keep going?
You know what, it is 8:15.
Yeah, it's 8:15, you
I
gotta,
could pick your brain all night.
of course,
and
yeah.
have everybody- Oh, there was another guy, AI Foundations, I like him too.
Oh, that's right, yeah, he does
Oh
really
my
good
gosh,
stuff.
I was showing him,
Yeah,
look
yeah.
now, I was showing him AI Foundations, put him up too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's another one. And then, I feel drained, I think we should probably end. We could keep you here for the next 7 hours, so, and I know how that goes.
Yeah, so this one right here,
AI Foundations.
yeah, AI
He's a good one,
Foundations.
too.
Yes, he's really good. I like his stuff as well.
In this video,
So again, you could watch videos like this all day long, but if you don't practice, it's just entertainment, right? You got to practice and practice and practice. And if you watch AI Advantage, he shows you like 12 new tools a week. You have to put in the time to play with those tools. Otherwise, it's just entertainment, But yes, you can do some crazy stuff out there. So. And what ChatGPT 5 is about to come out in like 3 or 4 months.
What about the search though, so the new tool that's kind of deep researchy?
Uh-huh.
Grok, huh?
Oh yeah, what about Grok? Did somebody-
Deep research is a
Grok
part
is
of
great.
Grok.
Yeah, and then AI Studio I'm working with, Google stuff.
Yeah.
Their whole array of tools is off the charts too, like Notebook LM and all
Yep.
their stuff.
Yeah.
Their whole experimental thing, so maybe you should, what about that? Google Labs.
Gemini?
No, the labs.
Google
where
Studio?
They have all the, no, show them the Google Labs thing.
Okay. All right.
Labs.google, what?
Because they have a lot of new tools.
Yeah, that's another place to go.
So yeah, this one right here, Google Notebook LM. So basically what it does is we could take like, let's say a chapter of a book and it turns it into a podcast. And then it just sounds like 2 people having a conversation. And a lot of students now in college are taking like their textbooks and they're doing this with it. So now it's a podcast, right? Now they're learning as if 2 people were talking about the material. They're asking questions, all that kind of stuff. And people are using this now to actually run their entire YouTube channels. I've now run across like 50 different YouTube channels where every episode is just this.
For the podcast?
It's a podcast.
Well, that's why, and what I worked on all last weekend is trying to customize that. Trying to find, because they only have the same 2 voices.
Yeah.
And when I hear it on YouTube, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're using Notebook LM, doofus.
Yeah.
So that's what somebody said. So there's another one called jellypot.ai. I worked with them. So I've been working with all of them to try and find different voices for these podcasts.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's,
I'm
yeah,
getting a little,
of course. Yeah. And
excited over this.
And again, there's many people who are doing this, and they're making money, and they're promoting themselves because AI can do it. So hopefully you got something from that. So let's thank Sharon for a wonderful evening tonight.
you're all